Hi, I'm Cecily, and welcome to my channel, The Lover's Astro and Tarot. This reading is for anyone whose sun, moon, or ascendant is in the thoughtful sign of Cancer. Hi, all of my Cancers. Um, Cancer, you're actually going to have a good month this month romantically. You have a lot to look out for. So let's talk about what's going on with you. So the first card that you actually received for the month is the King of Chalices or the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is actually representing you. So what does it mean when you get the King of Cups? Well, don't just think of it as a Cups card or don't just think of it as a king. Think of it as a very powerful energy that says you're not necessarily in control, but you're in command, and that's something that's even more delightful. It's basically saying you're in a space romantically where you're in touch with yourself and you really know what your needs are. And not only do you know what they are, but the most important part is that you respect what they are. And kings are about respect. And that's one of the most important things we can give ourselves in a love relationship. So Cancer, towards the beginning of the year, you're going to probably be making some major changes in your life around who you are as a person, and it's going to give you a lot of validation and a lot of self-respect. Also, kings are in a position of power where they can make moves. So what this says is if you see someone that you're interested in, which you will, that's coming up, but when you see someone that you're interested in, you're capable of announcing yourself to that person. You're capable of making yourself known. Normally, Cups cards are either romantic and flirty or they are on the more emotional side, sometimes so much that it can even be a little bit depressing. But for this, it's really about you kind of finding your true balance and being able to share that with somebody. And that's a really beautiful space to be in. It's even better than having the Queen of Cups there because it says that you're at your highest when you're being represented by a king. And it also says that because you're in that place, you're kind of asking for that person to be on a certain level as well. Now, you do have somebody walking into your life maybe sometime around January 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. And what is it represented by? Well, he's going to be represented by the King of Wands, male or female. Excuse me for saying he, but it's just terminology. But this King of Wands is kind of the opposite of you in the sense wherever you're calm and you're cool, they're hot and passionate. Now, both of you still command the same respect and he'll still have the same amount of self-worth, which is really important because it says that neither one of you is on top of each other. Neither one of you is in control of each other. It's an equal balance of power. And I don't really see a power struggle here or any sort of major complaints about the person. Now, a fire sign like the Wands card is usually an Aries, a Leo, or a Sag. Somebody that's very fun, outgoing, optimistic, likes to move quickly, but at the same time doesn't want to be tied down. Somebody that's very just wide open to the world, where you tend to be more emotional and have a tendency to stay to yourself a little bit more. This person is going to bring out the social side of you. It's going to bring out the playful side of you in terms of love. It's going to really allow you to get to a place where you can experience a loving relationship without any sort of boundaries, which is wonderful. So let's talk about what happens mid-month, the good part. So you meet this King of Wands, right, Cancer, and he kind of brings this new energy into your life. And as he does, the two of you start to really connect. And that's where the Lovers card comes in. Now, the Lovers card can mean a few things. It can actually mean love. It can mean sex. It can mean, I don't want to say a soulmate because it's not necessarily a soulmate, but what it is a meeting of body, mind, and soul. It's when you have somebody that you really feel like gets you, really understands you. And often in love, we're looking for so many things on our checklist. But when somebody really can get that, when you guys have that type of bond that just works with each other, that's all you really need. So sometime around 15th, maybe late, maybe the 21st, 22nd, late throughout the month, you're going to really get physical with this person, or you're going to really let this person into your heart. And it's not a one-way street when you receive the Lover's card, especially when you have two kings next to each other and the Lover's card. It really does talk about the two of you coming together on equal terms, which is really beautiful. And not only do you have that, but the Lover's card is when you have this ability to really turn your relationship into something. It's basically three-dimensional. It's a three-dimensional relationship. It's not just about money or security. It's not just about communication and logic and why you should be with that person. It's not just about emotion, and it's not about physical passion. It's about all of those things put together. It's literally everything come together. And if you look at the card, you can see the man and the woman embracing each other and touching hands, but they're also bound to each other. Their wrists are bound, they're tied together. And that's a symbol of marriage and community and love. But it's more than that, because it also is meaning they're a matching pair. And that's kind of the way you're going to feel throughout January. You're going to feel like, wow, I've really become part of a pair. So you do have this major potential for relationship possibilities. Now, what I will say is, if you look at this card, there's the masculine and the feminine. Why? Not just because he's male and she's female, but also because he represents the sun and she represents the moon. She represents emotion, he represents ego. So that means that your emotion, Cancer, and your partner's ego. And both of those things go together very well in this case. Now, they don't always, but in this one, it's an understanding of those two things. You get your partner's ego, and it's going to allow you to make them feel really safe. And in return, they're going to offer you all of that emotional need that you have. So it's a really great pair. Now, as we get to the last of the month, you receive the World. And the World and the Lovers are both major arcana. So they're both important energies that are coming into your life to shake things up. They're not just kind of gently knocking on your door. They're knocking your door down, and they're really not going to let you get away with it. So the World card is a little bit different because it is very potent in terms of its energy. But it's also about the ending of cycles and the starting of something new. If you look at the card has an older woman and a young boy, and also has a young tree and an older tree that's very mature. And what it's basically saying is, you're at a place where your relationships are growing into a new phase. You're now sort of out of the place where your relationships, for you, Cancer, you've always taken relationships seriously, and I realize that. But you're going to be in a place now where you're also more open with it. The world has an abundance to it in this card. It basically says that you can't run out of a supply. There is no such thing as a real beginning or end. It just always starts over in some form. The energy is always going to be there. So this is kind of saying that even though there won't be a direct commitment between you, there will be an unspoken renewal of love. It'll bring the two of you together, allow the two of you to get past understanding, to get past sex, to get past emotion, and really get down to who you are at each other's core level. And that's going to be really important. But it's a really great thing, especially when that's so fast coming in a new relationship. It's really important for you to be able to see this person clearly. And the world does that. The world says, I'll show you my insides. I'll show you exactly what it is that I have to give, that I want to give you, and for you to really be able to receive me. A lot of times people do come to us unexpectedly or unannounced and tell us that they love us, or it might have been a really long time coming sometimes, or we'll have somebody new walk into our life. It's unexpected and we weren't ready. But this is basically saying that the timing is right, and it allows you to take advantage of being in a good relationship, of really securing the relationship that you've wanted. So I feel like you're going to have a really good month, Cancer. Not only are you going to have a really good month, but you're going to really allow yourself to fall in love over January, February. So that's a really great thing. I'm going to pull your last card, your outcome card, and we're going to see exactly what comes up for you for ending the month. Okay, Cancer. So your card came out as the Three of Pentacles. So what does that mean exactly? It means that the two of you are going to come to some sort of agreement, or arrangement around your relationship. You're going to start getting to a place where you're not necessarily settling down. You're not doing anything of that magnitude, but you're learning how to work together as a couple. It's the small things that you guys might do together. It's waking up in the morning and brushing your teeth together in front of each other for the first or second time and not being embarrassed or feeling out of place. It's going grocery shopping together or running errands together and learning about each other as a new couple and really being able to share your day-to-day experience. It's about all the things that we have to do, that we kind of need to do or kind of want to do, but normally it falls somewhere in the mundane, but it's still one of those cards that's very positive because it says that even those things between you work, which is a really wonderful thing because that's not always the case. So, Cancer, you actually have a really great month this month so far. So just go ahead and enjoy this new relationship that's possibly opening up for you, and enjoy the respect that you get to give yourself. One of the most important things I can say is stick to your guns this month, Cancer. Not that you ever give in, but you guys are in a place where your self-respect is not ego. It's definitely you moving in the right direction. So I applaud you, Cancer. You've done a great job. And that is your reading for the month of January. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for all your likes, comments, and subscribes. And I'll see you next month. Love you, Cancer.